Hey everybody, welcome back to Ready Steady Play Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid, where we're doing our final thoughts on this cooperative sort of wave defense game.
Tower defense kind of. One thing before you continue. It's morphin' time! Nah, the match is over. It's
Triceratops!
Tyrannosaurus!
Dragonsaurus! Sorry, yeah, it is tower defense, isn't it? I think of it as tower defense.
It's wave defense, and it's sort of a minion defense.
Yeah.
But yeah, basically it's waves of enemies that attack with bosses, and we have to defend using our Power Rangers. And it's basically a sort of a hand management game, isn't it, really?
Yeah, I mean, you got tiny hands. 10. I mean,
yeah, I do.
Donald Trump size hands.
Tyrannosaurus has small hands.
But and so you're trying to manage these 10 cards to do as much efficient damage as you can to these enemy stacks that come out. Because of the way the cards can come out, I was going to say they seem really difficult, but actually it seemed kind of just really difficult throughout, you know?
It's a hard game.
It's a hard game.
I got that impression. Game. It's solid, actually.
You mean as a game, or what do you mean solid?
The bosses seem really difficult.
Yeah,
it's like, how on earth can you get through all?
Yeah,
two
monsters.
Two monsters.
And
a boss.
You don't have to kill the monsters technically, but I mean, obviously you do. You kind of do.
Because it's so difficult, it just escalates with the panic.
Exactly.
So yeah, I got the impression that it seems really hard.
Yeah, no, it definitely is. I've played 6 times now, and I've won twice.
Particularly because it's all very look orientated with.
Yeah, there's a lot of dice.
What you roll with the dice.
So if you know the game quite well, it's probably about a 60-minute game. Goes up to 5 players.
Goes up to 5 players. We've played it about an hour, yeah, with 2 of us.
Yeah.
I mean, this took us a lot. This took us easily 2 hours, didn't it?
Yeah.
And we were thinking a lot. We were like talking a lot about what we want to play.
Yeah.
But I think you kind of have to do that.
Yeah, I think that's where the enjoyment comes from, right?
Absolutely, yeah. I think it would be... So you explained that in the 2-player mode, you control 2 Rangers each, and you make a deck of 20 cards.
Yeah, they're mixed together. And so your guys are a unit, so you have to move together.
Yeah.
So I feel like the reason that's faster is because you can kind of optimize your hand a bit more autonomously.
And you can draw up to 7 cards.
Whereas in this game, because we've got fewer cards and we have to talk more and discuss more, it's sort of like it makes the game a bit longer.
And you're pretty much never in the 2-player version, you're kind of never really at much risk of dying because you actually don't have any respawns at all. If one of you dies, then you're done. You're never really at any risk of dying. The only time we ever nearly died was the first time we were won. We fought literally in the final fight against the boss. We nearly died, but we didn't quite. The way you but however, it's much kind of easier to lose because of the panic situation, because you've only got 2 bodies who can go to only cover 2 places at once.
You still only have 3 actions?
2 players, 2 action tokens each.
And 2 communal ones.
2 communal ones which live in the command center, and they can only be used as recovers.
Right.
Now, the designer Jonathan Ying has since put on BGG that he actually wants to, and I don't know if the new 2nd edition will actually change this, he wants to change it to actually just 3 actions each.
Right.
Now we have stuck with the rules in the rule book because when it comes to co-ops, I'm a real stickler for making it, because if you're not giving the game every chance it can have, what's the point of playing it? I feel.
Yeah.
But I still like to do bonus boss fights.
Yeah, of course. Of course.
I appreciate your sentiment, and I agree.
Yeah. So we've been struggling through that. So we lost the first 3 times we played. One of the times we lost, like in round 2 or so, we just got an unbelievably bad luck on the draw. I think we had one thing panicked. No, sorry, we had nothing. I think we possibly had nothing panicked at the end of the first round, and just the way the cards came up with it. Because you can, in theory, draw 2 monsters in one turn as well, or draw a monster first if it's the last card, or if the monster. So the second monster is the top card of the 3rd quarter of the deck.
Yeah. Then
it will actually come up as in the same round. So we kind of we thought we were doing well, and out of nowhere we just lost.
Yeah.
And that kind of is a bit frustrating. I would say it's possibly a design flaw that you could just lose out of absolutely nowhere.
Yeah.
There seems to be a bit too much swing in the luck of the spawning.
It is really like you were saying though. It's quite quick to play, and it's relatively sort of.
We've played it twice in a row, 2 times.
It's quite pulpy as well, so I think that it does strike me as one of those games where, if half an hour in, you just kind of lose, then you just go, okay, well, we'll just try again.
Yeah, which is exactly what we did that time. And when we finally won, we won by absolute skin of our teeth. And we kept trying the same combination of monsters as well until we beat them. And then we played the next time I played with some Kickstarter stuff. I played with like Goldar, and I can't remember what else I played with.
From Super Fantasy Bro.
And we found that one really easy, weirdly enough. We found that boss, Goldar, particularly easy. And I don't think he is easy necessarily. I think it's just like the way A, we've gotten better at the game, and then B, the way the cards came up. I think we just got lucky. Because also with 2 rangers you can combo quite nicely.
It would be nice to have some kind of difficulty rating on the bosses, so you could kind of tailor the combination a bit.
Yeah, that would be nice. Yeah,
to know sort of what you're getting into.
So
well, someone on BGG could make it.
They're
very good.
Something I'd love would be a campaign system, and someone BGG has already. I've seen one put up already, which is like the first season where like the Green Ranger is introduced as an enemy, and then after he's like the boss of the third mission of the campaign or something, and then after that you can start using the Green Ranger as he comes onto the good side. Then you can start. He's available to play as afterwards, and then like the final boss was like Cyclopses, which is this it's a Kickstarter exclusive boss, I think actually. Right. So someone has already started making them, which is cool. But I do wish I had a campaign system, I think.
But at the moment it's just scenario based, and it seems to me, given that the locations don't really have an impact, it's the scenario is pretty much which 3 bosses did you pick.
Yeah, but there's also 3 other types of foot soldiers.
Right, and they change up those decks.
At least one of them was Kickstarter. No, actually, I don't think any of the foot soldiers are Kickstarter exclusive. Yeah, and they also changed locations because obviously the way these decks work is if you're playing with Putty Patrollers, you have to have Ares Juice Bar. Right. If you're playing with Super Putty Patrollers, you have to have the Industrial District. You know, but the only difference in terms of these locations is the level, the threat level.
Does that change?
Yes, but I think each pair always equals.
It's kind
11.
Of scaled, right?
Yeah, I think every pair. So if you took the 10 Guaris, they might have like a 7 and a 4. Yeah. Right. But it still equals 11. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then there is this other mode called Assault mode where you play with the flip side, where they have various things, some of them good, some of them bad. So the Earnest Juice Bar is probably a good one. When a ranger in this location performs a recover action, they can recover 9 shields instead of 6.
Oh, that's cool.
Nice. Then the Industrial District.
So Assault mode just adds like location-based abilities.
There's one of the things at the start of each battle, each ranger may draw 1 card. That's a good one too. Draw 1 card and place 1 from their back of the deck.
So how else does this change the game?
So the other difference is that whenever a boss or monster or boss spawns, or whenever a person can't be placed in a location due to capacity. Yeah, instead of going clockwise, they go into the command center. And as I said, bosses and monsters just auto spawn the command center. And the extra rule is if anything at all is in the command center at the end of a round, you lose.
Oh, that's interesting. I quite like that.
Yeah,
that's fun. I'd like to try that.
Sorry, maybe we should have played that.
Well, no, it's good to play the.
Well, the boss ended up in there anyway.
Well, yes, we essentially ended up doing that, but we would have still lost because I'm not sure what happens in that situation if you kill the boss, but there's a Putty Patrol still in there at the end of the turn. I actually don't know if that means you win or lose in Assault mode.
We'll say when.
we lost anyway though. But I actually really enjoy the game. I've already played it 5 times, which is unusual for a new game that shows up on Kickstarter. I love Power Rangers in this nostalgic way.
Yeah.
And I was really worried this game was going to be a bit crap, to be honest with you. And it's not. It's I think it's actually got quite a lot of meat to it. I think it's quite fun. And there's a huge caveat there in the fact that I do have a great nostalgic love for Power Rangers.
I was just going to say, are you liking that just because of Power Rangers rather than... Because does it... I'm trying to think of other games like this, and does it add anything new?
I possibly do only love it because of Power Rangers, but I was genuinely worried it was going to be crap. And I was willing to... I actually kind of was expecting it to be crap.
Yeah.
So it did...
Well, I'll tell you what, let me step in for a minute, because I watched Power Rangers as a kid, but I don't know it nearly as well as you do, for sure. I don't really remember much of the lore or anything, but I enjoy that. Anyway, my point was that I really enjoyed this game. It's 90% this card play.
Yeah.
The funny thing is, all of this seems almost kind of entirely superfluous.
Yeah, because the fighting is everything.
The fighting is everything, right? So it's like you've got this board and all these cool minis, and they don't really need to be there. You could do a much simpler version of this with cards.
It's just a card game, yeah.
So that did kind of strike me that it is just kind of a card game with a lot of minis, but they're so much fun. I think it makes me think it's kind of a really luxury item.
Yeah, and I love how big they are. Like they're all chunky and beautiful, and in the right colored plastic.
I mean, they're
a lot bigger than normal.
This feels so much like a toy box. A joyful box of toys for people that really like Power Rangers and really want to have all of this cool Power Ranger stuff going on.
Yeah.
Because the combat, which is most of the game, is fun. Yeah. And the sort of the wave defense thing, it's fun. I liked that. It was a good solid base. I was worried that it would feel sort of like half-baked or tacked on.
Yeah, me too.
And I do feel like it wasn't fully integrated with all the miniatures in the sense that they weren't a vital part of the game.
Kickstarter,
eh? But, on the other hand, I do like toys, otherwise I wouldn't have a board game channel, and I very much enjoyed the toys that came with this card game. So I don't know, it's, I thought that the puzzle of the cards was really engaging, and I liked the discussion we had.
Like only having 10 cards is so difficult.
I liked how quickly you learned your cards and what they could do.
That was what I liked about it, actually. For someone who takes a little while longer than maybe the average player to pick things up, that is what I really liked about it. I could work out, I was like, oh, yes, I've got that does this, I need one for this, that I've only got one of that. Perfect. And it's almost like I had it in my hand straight away.
Yeah.
And Michael is going to be Red Ranger forever.
Forever red.
But yeah, I thought that was a very good aspect of this.
Yeah, there's not like massive amounts of text to learn and stuff. It really,
There's like 3 keywords, like passive, guard, and fast for the enemy cards, and ranger cards have attack, maneuver, and reaction. Those are the things you gotta learn.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and reaction just means you can play it against an attack. In defense, maneuver, that just means
maneuver
it's not
just means
an attack.
It's not attack. Yes, it's because something, like for example, I think yours says a ranger may play an attack card or something. It might specify, or they might just be there's keywords so you can specify that type of card. Maneuvers generate energy and do that kind of thing. Mm-hmm. They're like buffs as opposed to attacks.
And for a game that felt like this kind of sort of pulpiness to it, it has that kind of like sort of lightweight, fast-paced flow. It's not too demanding. It's not. But it's cognitive enough that it doesn't feel unengaging or boring or too random,
No, I mean the only kind of question mark over it when it can get boring is when you're not in combats, right? Because combats can go on for quite a long time, and you might not be involved in them.
Well, exactly. There was at the very start of our playthrough when you two were finding that thing. There was probably a whole episode where I was just like,
and
likewise you had one of those as well.
No, I actually, as it happened, didn't mind because that's because I know this game. And I was kind of like not GMing it, but I was very much dealing the cards out, and I was resolving the cards for you. So I involved myself, so to speak, right?
Is that a bigger problem in the 2-player game because you're less likely to team up? So you're mostly just watching the other person do it? Whereas I thought it was quite fun discussing who should go over there and team up with who and when you should get together as a 3.
You've got a bit less of that. And we've got a bit of that because sometimes you try to decide, do we want to go and definitely kill this boss or do you want to spread out? Mm-hmm. I mean, you have times in a 2-player game where one of you is going to fight a boss by yourself or a monster by yourself. Mm-hmm. While the other person tries to mop up other stuff. No, I don't think it happens anymore. Or I think it's the same in the 2-player. Mm-hmm. It's because the fights are also shorter. Mm-hmm. So even if there are more fights where you're just watching rather than participating, they're shorter fights because it's just one person. Just like it's not there's no you lose the whole who's going to play a card. It's just a matter of they go, I go, they go, I go.
Yeah, I didn't find myself getting particularly sort of bored when I wasn't involved in combat.
Me neither. I was surprised by that. I really thought it was going to be a big problem. I think it's still a strike against the game. I do think it's not in the positive list.
It's certainly not positive, but it's maybe not as negative as it could have been.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just because we'd not played this before, and so we were a bit more engaged with.
I was going to say it's because it's a co-op, so you're invested in what everyone else is doing.
That's true.
I think way more than you would be in a competitive
I was laughing
scene.
when you guys were failing, actually.
Great teamwork. But I think I think that's kind of fun, and it's nice that you can get that out of it as well.
Yeah, it's funny when someone else fails, but less funny when you fail.
I like that. I like the art, the way the art's done on the cards. Like that, we all have a Blade Blaster card, and all the art's the same. That's really helpful.
Else is unique.
But all the cards that are unique. So these are obviously the same because they're the same card. But then There's a bunch of different unique ones.
I think they hit a good balance between being kind of true to Power Rangers, but making it a bit more serious and adult, but not being like not the whole Batman super gritty reboot.
Yeah,
you know?
it's not like massively adultified. I mean, this thing is still ridiculous.
Exactly. But this art, like what I mean is this art is like still very silly and Power Ranger. It's like a bright spandex costume, but it's still a bit more adult and serious, right? Without being.
Yeah, they definitely. This looks way cooler than anything I remember from the original series.
Without being quote unquote gritty.
And I definitely don't remember this muscle tone. Like that's new.
No. That's there's a lot of inspiration from the
comic books.
Yeah.
It's got a real sort of comic book look to the art and stuff like that. Yeah. But that's okay. I don't mind that.
I'm glad. I think if they'd gone like with direct from the TV show, it would look ridiculous.
Oh, if they'd gone with show stills.
Oh, I hate that. I hate that always. Even
I pretty much
done
always.
Well.
Yeah.
Harry Potter Hogwarts Battle, man, like that. What a fun game, but. I hate the cards. I hate the looks of the cards. And the guy who does, there's an illustrator who does the Harry Potter. We're talking about a different game now, but they release illustrated versions of the books now. They're coming out one at a time, and the illustrations are fantastic. Get that bloke to do illustrations.
He's expensive, Chris.
Yeah, I know. Still, you know what I mean. But yeah, no, I
need to kickstart
it. I wish it had. My negatives are, I think it can. The combat takes so long that people can feel left out. Potentially,
yeah, that's
potential.
Definitely potential.
I wish there was a campaign mode.
I've got so many campaign games. I don't feel that massive loss for that, but I think that's going to be a personal preference.
Because I'm not as so keen on like, especially because I have everything, right? I have all this content in this game.
Yeah.
So I'm like, we sit down to play, and I'm like, okay, we've got 10 monsters and 6 bosses. Which 2 monsters and which one boss do you want to play? And it's like, I don't know. I guess it's a silly complaint. I'd rather kind of be given a progression to play through them in, rather than just trying to just pay.
It'd be nice to be able to do just a little bit of deck building between missions, to like upgrade some of your cards.
Yeah, that kind of thing, right?
Yeah, a very minor sort of like campaign style.
The actual game itself, the actual gameplay, I think is very fun. I think the game looks fantastic. I actually really, I was very apprehensive. But I'm actually really happy with my purchase. I'm glad I backed it. I'm glad I went all in.
Oh. My only real complaint is
I'm glad you feel that.
Is again, the just mechanically it doesn't need all of these toys. Yeah. But having said that, it's such a minor complaint. I don't think the thing is, I think I'd be sad if the toys were gone. So I'm not even sure how legitimate it is.
I mean, they could have made it just a simple card game, I guess. Very small box card game.
But then, I think I'd be sad that we were missing all the toys then.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, my only complaint is your complaint, the Kickstarter exclusives one. A lot of the stuff that feels like
Green Ranger, White Ranger, Lord Zed, they're all cool.
If you didn't have Green Ranger and White Ranger in the set, I'd be like, where are they?
So they talked about they said they were considering potentially releasing them maybe alternative sculpts. I mean, basically releasing dumbed down like less content rich versions of the Green with Envy and the White Light expansions. But then now that apparently doing the second Kickstarter, so maybe it looks like they're not going to do that, or maybe they do still plans in the future. So there is another Kickstarter coming, and there is some talk of maybe making them available in some capacity at retail.
But why not just have a plan in the first place to avoid the issue? Exactly. If you knew you were paying for a unique sculpt rather than a unique set, then you'd go into it with that in mind.
Exactly, yeah.
Whereas now, because they didn't outline a plan in the first place, now it's a thing.
Yeah. Oh, and I do want to point out the rulebook is terrible. It's really bad.
It's missing some rules as well.
It's literally missing some rules. Which the designer has had to clarify. It's a flaw. The designer is Jonathan Ying. He has been very active on BGG, and he is dealing with the issues. But they do exist. The rulebook is not adequate, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. My only criticism is that it seems super solid, but I think, and so what's annoying is that you can literally be on your second turn and die. Which seems a bit rubbish to me.
Yes,
but,
I
suppose that mitigates it, the fact that it's so quick to play.
It's very short.
It's quite a short game. But yeah, I would find that maybe potentially a bit frustrating.
Yeah, it did frustrate us the first time it happened, and it felt a bit anticlimactic.
Yeah.
Just lose the whole game on your second turn.
Just suddenly, even though when you
through no fault of your own, because of just the randomness.
You can't lose if you've totally cleared the board, but you can have literally just 1 or 2 guys left, and the exact wrong combination of cards can do you. which is really bad. Which is maybe just like ever so slightly out of whack. Maybe they could have just slightly. I don't know how they'd fix it, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. But other than that, I quite like it as well.
I suppose that's a flaw in a very simple system, is it doesn't have the complexities to deal with that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Good.
I enjoy it.
Well, there you go. That's our rundown on Power Rangers Heroes of the Grid. If you are interested in this product, it will be coming back to Kickstarter in September 2019, I think.
Yes, and it's already available at retail.
Yep, so you
Base
can
game.
at least get some of this. Make sure you look into what it is before you buy it, because it's not all of this.
Yeah.
But it's a lot of this.
Most of this. Most of this you'll get.
Yeah.
But not him.
No.
Not him.
You can buy him at retail.
Yeah.
Not him, but you can buy him at retail.
But don't buy him, because he's
But the
awful.
pumpkin wrapper is Kickstarter exclusive.
Which is fine, because he's awful.
Yeah.
We don't like you.
Thanks for playing, guys. I really like
Thanks for bringing it, Chris.
Thanks very much. Yeah, well done. We lost.
Well done, team.
Well done, we lost.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
well
we
done.
lost in style.
And well done you.
Well done you for coming on this journey with us. You clearly have stamina, just like the naughty Blue Ranger. And we'll be back tomorrow for a completely different adventure. Bye, everyone.
Bye. And remember, it's morphin' time.
Triceratops.
Tyrannosaurus!
Dragonzord!
Dog.
Dog.